Proverbs chapter 18. A man who isolates himself seeks his own desire. He rages against all wise judgment. A fool has no delight in understanding, but in expressing his own heart. When the wicked comes, contempt comes also, and with dishonor comes reproach. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters. The wellspring of wisdom is a flowing brook. It is not good to show partiality to the wicked, or to overthrow the righteous in judgment. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calls for blows. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. The words of a talebearer are like tasty trifles, and they go down into the inmost body. He who is slothful in his work is a brother to him who is a great destroyer. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. The rich man's wealth is a strong city, and like a high wall in his own esteem. Before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty, and before honor is humility. He who answers a matter before he hears it, it is folly and shame to him. The spirit of a man will sustain him in his sickness, but who can bear a broken spirit? The heart of the prudent acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. The first one to plead his cause seems right until his neighbor comes and examines him. Casting lots causes contentions to cease and keeps the mighty apart. A brother offended is harder to win than a strong city, and contentions are like the bars of a castle. A man's stomach shall be satisfied from the fruit of his mouth. From the produce of his lips shall be filled. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. The poor man uses entreaties, but the rich answers roughly. A man who has friends must himself be friendly, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Notice with me verses 10 and 11. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. The rich man's wealth is a strong city, and like a high wall in his own esteem. Now the Lord is our refuge, and he is our protector. We can run to him with any problem that we have, and he uses his strength and his wisdom and his power to shield us from adversity, to help us overcome things. He just takes care of us overall. Well, we see a contrast here in verse 11 with the rich man who relies on his wealth instead. Now, Proverbs talks about the rich man several times. Proverbs is not addressing a particular person. It's more or less talking about an attitude, a way of thinking. So the wealthy man, he relies on his money. He relies on his own personal finances and his own personal power to get him from point A to point B. And it's not that all rich people, all wealthy people are going to turn their backs on God. But in my experience, when you try to talk to someone who's wealthy, they don't consider what God can do for them. They don't consider that God can take care of their needs because they rely on their wealth to take care of their needs. But the problem is, here throughout Proverbs, it talks about how basically in the end, if you're trusting in your wealth to see you through, it's not going to help you. I mean, we've all heard the phrase, you can't take it with you. What happens at the end of your lifetime? You can't take your wealth with you. It's better to put your trust in the Lord, in someone who's going to be there even in this time and even at the end of our time. After we die here and we go into eternity, wouldn't you rather have your trust put in a God that's going to take care of you through all of eternity instead of still relying on the money that you no longer have as you pass out of this life into the next one to come? Don't rely on your finances. Rely on God instead. Well, thank you again for joining us today. I hope you'll come back tomorrow and join us for another Proverbs. Have a great day, and God bless.